Did you know that over 30,000 illegal transactions happen daily on the dark web? The internet. It's where we get cat videos, order takeout and doom scroll through news feeds. It's become as essential as electricity. But beneath this familiar surface lurks a darker side, a hidden world shrouded in secrecy. This isn't about your embarrassing teenage blog posts, folks. We're talking about the dark web. Think of the internet like an iceberg. You've got the tip, all shiny and bright, where we do our online banking and post-vacation pics. That's the surface web. But dive deeper and you hit the dark web. It's vast, murky, and full of things best left undisturbed. Now, I'm not here to scare you. Knowledge is power after all, but a little healthy fear? That keeps you alive. The dark web isn't some urban legend. It's a real place with real dangers. So join me as we embark on a journey into the unknown. We're about to take a deep dive into the darkest corners of the internet. From the depths of the dark web to the most sinister online communities, we'll uncover the secrets that lie beneath the surface. Get ready for a thrilling adventure that will leave you questioning the true nature of the internet and its users. Prepare to face the darker side of human nature and discover the shocking truths that lurk in the shadows of cyberspace. The allure and dangers of the dark side of the internet await. Stay tuned to learn more. Pause 3S. Now let's delve into the main challenges associated with the dark web. First up, cybercrime. This is the dark web's bread and butter. It's a bustling marketplace for illegal goods and services, from counterfeit currency to weapons, and illicit drugs to human trafficking. If it's illegal, you'll find it here. The dark web operates like an underworld bazaar where anonymity is the currency of choice. But cybercrime isn't the only issue. Privacy, or rather the illusion of it, is another major concern. While the dark web promises anonymity, it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, it provides a shield for whistleblowers and activists. On the other, it offers the same protection to those with malicious intentions. The very tools designed to keep you hidden can also be used against you. Imagine trying to navigate a pitch-black maze, knowing that at any moment, you could step into a trap. And then, there's the risk of accessing harmful content. The dark web isn't just a playground for criminals, it's also a repository for some of the darkest content imaginable. We're talking about graphic violence, disturbing imagery, and even more sinister materials. The psychological impact of encountering such content can be profound, leaving lasting scars. So, why do people still venture into this digital abyss? For some, it's the thrill of the unknown. For others, it's the promise of easy money. But make no mistake, the dark web is a high-stakes game with few winners. The risks far outweigh the rewards. And remember, curiosity killed the cat. Stay cautious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay safe. Now let's move on to explore where these dark things dwell. Pause 3S. Now let's delve deeper into some of the specific areas of concern that make the dark web such a treacherous place. First up, identity theft. Imagine waking up one morning to find your bank account drained, your credit ruined, and loans taken out in your name. This isn't a plot from a thriller, it's a daily reality for many. The dark web is a bustling marketplace for stolen identities. Personal information like social security numbers, bank account details, and even medical records are bought and sold like commodities. A 2019 study found that over 10 million Americans had their identities stolen, with much of the data traceable back to dark web transactions. Next, let's talk about drug trafficking. The dark web has revolutionized the illegal drug trade. Marketplaces like the infamous Silk Road have made it easier than ever to buy and sell narcotics anonymously. In 2017, the FBI shut down Alpha Bay, a dark web marketplace that was 10 times the size of Silk Road. It was a hub for everything from heroin to synthetic opioids, contributing to the devastating opioid crisis. But as soon as one market is taken down, another rises to take its place. It's a never-ending game of whack-a-mole, with real lives at stake. Then, there's the presence of illegal marketplaces. We're not just talking about drugs and stolen identities here. You can find counterfeit currency, weapons, and even human trafficking services. Take the case of Hansa, another dark web marketplace that was shut down in 2017. Before its closure, it boasted over 3,600 vendors and over 24,000 drug listings. The sheer scale of these operations is staggering, and the anonymity provided by the dark web makes it nearly impossible to track down the perpetrators. These real-world examples illustrate the severity of the issues lurking in the dark web's shadows. It's a place where the worst of human nature can thrive, hidden beneath layers of encryption and anonymity. So, before you consider venturing into this digital underworld, remember the risks. The dark web is not just a curiosity, it's a high-stakes game with potentially life-altering consequences. Stay cautious, stay informed, and above all, stay safe. Pause 3S. Now let's move on to explore where these dark things dwell. Pause 3S. Now let's pivot to a real-life story that underscores the grave consequences of engaging with the dark side of the internet. Meet Jane, a young professional who was lured into the dark web out of sheer curiosity. She had heard about the hidden markets and thought she could just browse without any repercussions. But Jane's story serves as a cautionary tale. One night, Jane decided to explore the dark web using Tor. She stumbled upon a marketplace selling counterfeit designer goods at unbelievably low prices. Tempted, she decided to make a purchase. Little did she know her transaction would set off a chain of events that would turn her life upside down. A few days after her purchase, Jane noticed unusual activity on her bank account. Thousands of dollars were missing, and several unauthorized loans had been taken out in her name. Her credit score plummeted, and she was left to deal with the financial and emotional wreckage. Jane's personal information had been harvested and sold multiple times on dark web forums. The aftermath was devastating. She spent months trying to recover her stolen identity, facing roadblocks at every turn. But the nightmare didn't end there. Jane's involvement in the dark web transaction caught the attention of law enforcement. She found herself entangled in an ongoing investigation into the very marketplace she had naively bought from. The ordeal left her feeling violated and vulnerable, a stark reminder of the dark web's real-world toll. Jane's story is not unique. It's a sobering example of how a single moment of curiosity can lead to life-altering consequences. The dark web may seem like an intriguing digital frontier, but it is fraught with peril. The faceless entities that lurk in its shadows are always on the lookout for their next victim. So, remember Jane's story before you consider venturing into this dangerous territory. The risks are real, and the consequences can be devastating. Pause 3S. Now let's move on to explore where these dark things dwell. Pause 3S. Let's take a moment to recap the key points we've discussed so far, and reinforce the importance of internet safety and awareness when it comes to the dark web. First and foremost, the dark web is not a place for casual browsing. As we've seen from Jane's story, even a seemingly harmless purchase can lead to catastrophic consequences. Her experience highlights the vital need for caution and skepticism when encountering too-good-to-be-true offers or anonymous marketplaces. We've also explored the types of individuals and activities that populate the dark web. From hackers to identity thieves, the dark web is a haven for criminal elements who prey on unsuspecting users. The anonymity provided by tools like Tor can shield activists and whistleblowers, but it can also protect those with malicious intent. It's crucial to remember that the dark web is not indexed by standard search engines. Access requires special software, and once you're in, the risks are high. Stolen data, illegal transactions, and other nefarious activities are rampant, making it a perilous environment for anyone who ventures in without proper understanding and precautions. So, what's the takeaway here? Internet safety and awareness are paramount. Be mindful of your online activities, protect your personal information, and think twice before engaging with unknown or suspicious websites. The digital world is vast and full of opportunities, but it also has its dark corners. Stay informed, stay safe, and don't let curiosity lead you into danger. Pause 3S. Now, let's delve deeper into where these dark things dwell. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to check out our other videos on internet safety and cybercrime for more insights. Let's get one thing straight. You won't stumble upon the dark web accidentally. It's not indexed by your friendly neighborhood search engines like Google. To access it, you need special software like Tor, which allows for anonymous browsing. Think of it like a digital invisibility cloak. But anonymity can be a double-edged sword. It's great if you're an activist living under an oppressive regime. Not so much if you're a cybercriminal looking to exploit and steal. And trust me, the dark web is crawling with them. We're talking about hackers, identity thieves, drug traffickers, you name it. It's a digital haven for illegal activities. Here, stolen data is bought and sold like discount socks. Passwords, credit card numbers, even social security numbers, it's all up for grabs. So, before you think about venturing into the dark web out of curiosity, ask yourself this: is it worth risking your digital life? Because once you enter this shadowy realm, there's no guarantee you'll come out unscathed. Ever get an email that looks a little off? Maybe it's from your bank, asking you to update your password, or a notification from a shopping site about a purchase you definitely didn't make. That, my friends, could be a phishing scam. These cyber criminals are like digital anglers casting out bait in the form of official-looking emails or messages. They're hoping you'll bite, clicking on a malicious link or downloading an infected attachment. And if you do, well, you just handed them the keys to your digital life. They can steal your passwords, drain your bank accounts, or hold your data hostage with ransomware. And let me tell you, paying the ransom is like negotiating with a pigeon holding your car keys hostage. You might get them back, but it's going to cost you, and there's no guarantee the pigeon will keep its word. So be wary. Don't click on suspicious links, even if they seem to be from someone you trust. Always double-check the sender's address and look for any red flags like spelling errors or weird formatting. Section 4. They see you when you're browsing. Remember that warm, fuzzy feeling you get when you realize your favorite online store knows exactly what you want before you do? Yeah, that's not always a good thing. On the dark web, privacy is about as real as a unicorn riding a dragon. Every click, every download, every message, it can be tracked, traced, and used against you. And it's not just your browsing history we're talking about, your location, your personal information, even your webcam and microphone. It's all fair game for those who know how to exploit vulnerabilities. Think you're safe behind that VPN? Think again. While VPNs can add a layer of protection, they aren't foolproof. Sophisticated hackers can still find ways to bypass them and snoop on your online activities. The takeaway? Once you venture into the dark web, assume everything you do is being watched. Because chances are, it is. Section 5. The echo chamber of hate. The internet can be a beautiful place for connection and community, but like that one weird relative you try to avoid at family gatherings, the dark web has a dark side. It can be a breeding ground for extremist ideologies, hate speech, and dangerous misinformation. Think of it as a giant echo chamber where the worst of humanity comes to amplify its message. We're talking about neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other groups that thrive on fear, hatred, and division. They use the dark web to recruit new members, spread propaganda, and plan attacks. And it's not just limited to extremist groups. The anonymity of the dark web emboldens individuals to spew hate speech and incite violence without fear of consequence. It's a toxic stew of prejudice and bigotry that can have real-world consequences. Remember, words have power. And on the dark web, those words can have a far-reaching and dangerous impact.